Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back. I'm Nicodemus Kane. Today is December the 23rd of 2021. Today I'm going to read Psalm 75. This is to the chief musician, Al Tashith, a psalm or song of Asaph. This is the midway point of the Psalms. It's amazing that we've gotten here. 75 days of Psalms so far. But this is the midway point because there are 150 Psalms. I'm sure that there are probably more than that, but this is what we've been given just in the Bible. Okay. Psalm 75. Unto thee, O God, do we give thanks. Unto thee do we give thanks. For that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. When I shall receive the congregation, I will judge uprightly. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I bear up the pillars of it. Selah. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. But God is the judge. He putteth down one, and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out, and drink them. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Amen. This was a short one for being right in the middle for the past couple of them that have been, at least a page long. This was pretty short. We'll go over it like I usually do. Unto thee, O God, do we give thanks. Unto thee do we give thanks. For that thy name is near. For that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. For that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. It's just the way that it's written. It doesn't flow naturally, so I'm trying to find the natural way of saying it, but that's what it is. For that thy name is near, thy wondrous works declare. When I shall receive the congregation, I will judge uprightly. The earth and all the inhabitants thereof are dissolved. I bear up the pillars of it. Selah. Pillars of the earth. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. For promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. That means it must come from the north. But God is the judge. He putteth down one, and setteth up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup. Now this is very similar to something that we talked about. Was it yesterday or the day before? Where we were talking about the cup. And I talk about the cup being full of dirty waters, as you've... Something I had heard, somebody had preached this before, is that the cup is dirty in that he fills it with clean water. And it slowly pushes all of the nastiness out and over the edge, so that by the end of it, there's nothing but clean water inside of it. This sounds very familiar with that. It also goes along with, he pours out the wine of his indignation, that his wine of wrath, his well, that's basically how I need to say it. I don't need to say it anywhere else. I'm trying to think of some other way to say it, but it's like, no, that's basically what it is. It's his cup that he pours over the people, that is his judgment that he pours out like wine. It's like a metaphor. It's a metaphor. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red. It is full of mixture, and he poureth out of the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. So he pours it out, and the dregs of the earth, the wicked of the earth, wrings it out and drinks up the wine. Interesting. But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the God of Jacob. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Which is interesting, because mostly whenever you hear about the horns in the Bible, you hear about how they are always part of the wicked. The beast with 10 horns, or, things like that. But the horns of the righteous, there's a couple different places where it says it refers to. 101:8, I will early destroy all the wicked of the land. Psalm 101:8. I will early destroy all the wicked of the land, that I may cut off all wicked doers from the city of the Lord, which doesn't say anything about Psalms. Good old Jeremiah 48. Come on, where you at? There you are. 48:25. Jeremiah 48:25. And again, some of these aren't perfect. 48:25. The horn of Moab is cut off, and his arm is broken, saith the Lord. And they were talking about Moab being confounded, for it is broken down, and judgment will come across, so the horn of Moab is cut off. But you don't hear about the horn of the righteous. There's another one, Psalm 89:17. For thou art the glory of their strength, and in thy favor our horn shall be exalted. And it goes back to the Psalm 75:4-5. I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked, lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. And all the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. I will definitely have to look more into that. Because we don't usually hear about the horns of the righteous. You hear about blowing the trumpets, and whenever they filled the walls of Jericho, they walked around, and on the seventh day they blew the trumpets, they blew the horns, and the walls fell. Was it the sixth day? I think it was the sixth day. It's the seventh day. Come on now. Could have been the sixth day. I don't remember. Right offhand, I don't remember. But yeah, I have a lot of other things that have kind of taken over my mind today. We're definitely putting out a lot more money than we used to. My bank account is showing it. It is, and it's bills and food, and because everything has just become more expensive. And I got I got paid today, and I saw my bank account. And I said, "Ooh, yikes, that's rough." So and it's nothing anyone need be concerned about. We just have to find ways around it. When your monetary system is based off of hopes and dreams and the sweat of your brow, the energy that you expend, plus it's based upon the extra money that you have to pay just for the sake of having it. You have to pay extra money on top of it. That's how it works. The Federal Reserve, if you're in America, the Federal Reserve prints money out of thin air with nothing backing it whatsoever and sells that money to the government, to the United States government, sells it to the government with interest. The government pays back the Federal Reserve with the taxes that it takes from the people. And that interest that they have to pay back to the Federal Reserve is just extra money that you have to, or extra energy that you have to spend to give it back to them. It's a losing situation everywhere. Every way you look at it, it's an absolute losing situation. And we think that it's such a good system. We think it'll work perfectly for us. That it'll never fail. The dollar will always be there. Money will always be there. Just keep going to work. Your capitalism is doing just fine. And I'm not saying that I am one for abolishing capitalism. I am not. Um, there's nothing wrong with being able to earn money. There's more wrong with the greed that comes from earning money, which we have had way too much of. There's too many people out there that are earning way too much money, that are being so greedy to the point that they have set up ways for people to fail because of it. It's the best way to put it. It's the best way I think I could put it. So you have this system now where, like I said, your money is worthless. There's nothing to it. It's backed by debt from top to bottom. We will never be able to pay back that debt because we don't have enough money ourselves to pay it back. Like if you take a loan out with somebody and they say, "Sure, I'll loan you $100, but you got to pay me $20 on top of it." You have to work to get back that 100 to pay them. Plus, you got to work a little bit extra to get that 20 to pay them back the 120, the full amount. So if the place that's making your money sells you the money with interest, you're never going to get that. You're never going to be able to pay them back. Where's that money coming from? Somebody else's money. Where's that money coming from? Well, most of the entire world is based upon the United States dollar. There's very little country. I think there's what, 4 countries left in the world that are not part of the central bank system. The entire thing is run by the same banking system. I'm sorry to say, but that is the truth. Everything is run basically based upon what the dollar is doing, and of course that's dollar is failing. because they've set the system up to fail. So we are moving to something else. They're talking about going to the whatever the Chinese dollar is. But everything revolves around what the central bank says your money is worth. And they are in the business of taking your money. That's what they do. That's what they've always done. Since banking first began, everybody has warned us, don't let the central bankers take over. But that's exactly what happened. That's absolutely exactly what happened. I haven't watched the rest of it. I think I stopped on episode like 6. It's a 10-part episode. Truth Stream Media. They did it's called The Trust Game. I've said something about it before. It's on Vimeo. You have to pay for it. It's like $8. It's nothing. I would gladly put money in their pocket because they go beyond anything I've ever seen. Trying to tell you the truth. But their whole thing is, how this financial system has come into power. And they talk about, how it was all set up. It focuses around Jekyll Island. If you don't know about Jekyll Island, it's where the Federal Reserve was basically created, and pretty much the moment whenever the United States dollar was doomed. One thing I didn't know is the amount of banking panics that they've had throughout the years, which most of them seem to be, they almost seem to be orchestrated to a point. Um, people putting their money into a bank and then freaking out because they don't think that their bank is going to be able to take care of their money, so they panic and pull their money back out, and then the bank can't support giving more money out to other people. It seems like a failed system. Seems like an absolutely failed system, but we just kept doing it over and over and over again because the bank kept trying to screw people over. That's what it was doing. And I mean, you don't keep going back to the same crook over and over again, asking them to hold your valuables, and then you don't trust that person, so you take them away, and it's like you go back to them again. You just say, okay, look, I'll give you another chance, But then it's like you start worrying that they're gonna take it and pawn it off or something, so you go back and you take it away. You don't. After a while, you have to understand that doesn't work, and you can only put so many laws into place to keep that working. So what they did was they created a system where they could control it, where you take the money out of the hands of the public, the backing of the money out of the hands of the public, and you create this artificial system in which they control all the wealth. And I've said it before, is that you're not earning cash. There's no money. There's no real value to the cash that you have. It's all based upon what they want you to think it is. This whole thing about the this financial crash of whatever it was, 2008, and the financial crash of what was it, 1970, whatever it is. All those little things like that, those were all they're all made by them. That's them, reminding you that your money may have value, but it doesn't. It's just another lie. It's all lies, man. Every single bit of it is a damn lie. When I say that we are drowning in deception, I mean it. We are absolutely drowning in deception. But I've said it before, you don't have money, you don't have cash, you don't have any real value to this. These are food and entertainment vouchers. Excuse me. It's the best way that I could put it. You slaved your day away. So here is a piece of paper that says that you can go buy food. Here's your entertainment voucher that says that you can go watch your TV, or you can go play your video game. That's all this is. There's nothing else to it. It's like it's it's almost like socialism at this point. To be honest, it's communism. It's best. You don't understand communism. Like, you don't understand the financial communism, the financial socialism. You don't understand that point. You think it's an ideology where people work together to to help one another, to help the party uh, get through life, and that everybody works for some common goal. But it's really a financial system of enslaving people. That's really what it is. And the only way it works is tyranny to for tyrannical governments to be able to create a police state in order that you can keep everybody in line. That's what it is. It's the more I look at it, the more I understand that it's not a social system. It's not this, construct of, oh, everybody's going to be working for the working for the common good of everybody else. No, it's a monetary system, man. That's all it is. It's about enslavement from top to bottom. You know, this is the rich people say we're going to give you X amount of food and entertainment vouchers, and you're going to work your ass off thinking that you're doing it for the common good, but you're still doing it for yourself. And we're going to give you this, and we're going to tell you how much you can and can't spend. We're going to tell you how much you can and can't have, and you're going to like it. You're going to own nothing. You're going to be happy. That's the way it is. A lot of people still don't understand that concept. A lot of people still hear that and they're like, "Surely not." It's like, no, it's the way they're doing it. It's the way it's coming, and everything is about the individual. Everything will be about taking care of the individual people. Oh no, let me put that another way because that's not right exactly. It's about the feelings of the individuals, and it's about protecting the feelings and the how do I want to put this? It's about protecting the feelings and the beliefs. I guess that's a good way to put it. Protecting the feelings and beliefs of the group at large. It's the group think. Um, you can't have actual individual feelings. It's this group think. It's if one person in the group feels that this hurts them, everybody in the group has to feel like that. But if somebody thinks outside of that, thinks that this isn't right, and they don't think that this is going to be good for them, then the group will turn on them because you have to think the way that the people at the top that give you your food vouchers, the rich, You have to think the way that they want you to think because they give you what you need. It's not it's not about, you know, it's not about what you can do for yourself. It's about what the it's about what the party does for you. And unfortunately, there is nothing good that the party can do for you because the party is too interested in taking care of its feelings. Does that make any sense? It's the way I've seen it. It's the way I understand it. Um, a lot of people can argue against that. A lot of people say that's not how it is at all. It's like this and it's like that, and it's the best thing ever. And it's like, no, man, no. Everywhere that they've tried to institute this garbage, it has failed completely. You still have this rich elite on top that are living the high life, living their lives the best they can. And what they do is they get to tell the little people underneath, because you are existing on our tab, then you have to do what we have to tell you, or we tell you. And what happens is you don't have freedom. You don't have anything whatsoever. It becomes this totalitarian patrol grid where they tell you what to think, they tell you what to do, and if you go against it, then you're out. You're gone. And it's not like you get kicked out, you're dead. Because they can't have any voices against it. They can't have anybody pointing out the fact of how evil and wicked the whole system is. It's what I've seen. That's what I've seen. That's what I've understood. And it's not. Things like that only work if you have a totalitarian system. It's just the way it is. And hey, guess what? They're building a totalitarian system like that where they're going to have a forced socialism all the way around the world. You know, they're going to keep you in line. They're going to keep you in check, and you're not going to be able to have any kind of voice whatsoever. And it's going to be this atheist free for all where anything goes, do what thou wilt, where the worst of the worst will be put up on the pedestal because it's not about doing any good. It's just about working for your next payment vouchers. So what's going to happen is that the bread and circuses that you get are going to increase in perversion and evil. It's just going to become exponentially over the top. Um, like it has already become. I've seen the videos of, I don't know where it was. I've seen the videos of South America where the streets are just lined with prostitutes, and just the absolute perversion. I've seen the videos of the I've seen too much, actually. I've seen way too much. The lawless countries of South Africa, or not South Africa, Middle Africa. The lawless countries of South America, how they're bringing this stuff into the European countries, and it's just the evil the evil cultures that the ways that they treat people, the ways that they treat animals, the the videos of the people in China, that the things that they do to animals, the things the things that they do to each other, um, Middle Eastern cultures, what they do to people, just I've seen it. It's You don't want any of that. You just don't. You know, I don't know. I don't know what they're if they even have an education system. I don't know. I don't know. I know most of these countries, they they have those mentalities of do whatever you want. Try to earn the money the best you can. They just have no values. I've seen too many people die now. I don't want to see that anymore. I just don't want to see that anymore. You can you can call me a lot of names. Say that I'm a racist or nationalist or whatever you want, and I'm not. I'm really not. I think that we should be able to live how and where we want to. We shouldn't be able to be forced to have anybody tell us what to do or where to live. And if somebody moves into your neighborhood that's causing problems, I think that as a neighborhood, we should be able to go to that person and say, this isn't the place for you. You should probably leave. And that be that. I think that should go for countries as well. I know that America's not the best. I don't know the true history of it, but I know that we were brought up into we were brought up into a system that did some pretty bad things to some pretty bad people. I don't know if they were Native Americans. I don't know if they were Native Israelites. I don't know who they were. I don't know if they were a land of giants. I don't know. I don't know. We don't know. We can go by what they told us, and what they told us doesn't jibe with what we see. So this country is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but they gave us the freedom to be able to choose what we want to do. And freedom is not the worst thing in the world. A lot of people say, well, true freedom means that you can do what thou wilt. You can be whatever you want. Yeah, sadly, that's true freedom. That's also lawlessness and unrighteousness. I think that if we taught morals, if you teach the morals, teach the understandings, the only place you're going to get those morals is from Christianity, because there's no other religion that I see, no other understanding that I've seen that teaches morals like that. And I'm talking about reading the book, actually following the book, not not following the ways of somebody telling you what the book says. I've gone through this before too, but there's every other belief system in this world slowly degenerates down into that do what thou wilt attitude, and it will be okay. There's no problems. You know, don't worry, we all worship the same God. We're all going to the same place. But you're only here once. You might as well live it up. But we were just born into this system, and we have the ability to change it. We really do. We have to start teaching morals again. Have to start teaching how to have standards again, how to have values. There's so many people now that I don't even know what they even understand what a value is. And there's so many places in this world that have just fallen into that nightmare belief system where, nothing is sacred. Anything goes. It hurts. It hurts to see it. And I try not to look. I really do, but every now and then I have to look. I think I have to be reminded that it exists out there. And these people. And lawlessness and wickedness will increase. And it will get worse and worse. And we've been warned. It's happened before. It's happened. I'm thinking if you really get into it, try to follow it. Try to follow the decline of certain empires when they've fallen apart, and how many have risen up to a point, became so decadent, and then they fell apart again. I mean, this has happened, what, 5, 6 times? Is this number 7? You know? I mean, it just seems like that's been the flow of it. It's just you have this great empire that builds itself up, and it prospers for a long time, and then it's just like it degrades itself into decadence, and it falls apart because of that, until some other country or something comes in and takes it over. It's just like this cycle. I don't know. It's something to look into. I'm not really going to look into it myself personally, because I've got so many other things that I've got to deal with. In the end, what we have to do is we have to start teaching the children better. And I don't know if it's too late to even try to start teaching them better or not. At this point, I don't know. Because it just feels like we've slipped down past a point, and it's, I don't want to say that it's hopeless. I don't think it is. I think if we can turn, we can bring it back. But I think that we've kind of reached somewhat of a point of no return. Even if we did fight the system, if all the patriots, wherever they are, sitting on their hands on a couch, if all the patriots decided all at once that they were going to rise up and take the country back, take America back, and then once America gets caught back, we can go save Australia, we can go save Austria, and we can go, even if we managed to do that, that seed of evil is still out there, still floating around. All of the all of that wickedness and perversion, and that, the past 20, 40 years of propaganda and subversion that has happened, you still have to stamp that out. You still have to get rid of it. Is it possible? I don't know. I don't know. It's a lot. It's already in the minds of a lot of people. A lot of people already think that it's okay to. A lot of people think it's okay to go and chemically castrate your child whenever they're 5 years old because they think they're something that they're not. You know, or they a lot of people out there that think it's okay to start teaching kids that they're never going to be anything better than they are based solely upon the color of their skin. That's crazy, man. That's, I it I don't know who it says, what it says when black people won't stand up against critical race theory. It's like, and that just me saying that alone is probably enough to get the channel pulled. but for I don't understand, and I've seen some people stand up for it, but it's like what it does is it tells white kids that they are the problems in the world, and it tells black kids that they're never going to be any better than they are because they're always going to be put down. Who tells that to a kid? What happened there? I'm going to constantly tell any kid anywhere ever, you can be whatever you want to be and do whatever you want to do as long as you work for it. As long as you work for it and you set a standard for yourself. As long as you want it. If you really, really want it, you can get it. Nobody's being put down anymore. It's not like they say. It's just not. People may think it's that way because they're inside of these craptastic cities where, and that's the problem. I've already said that too. Even the people that lived in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, they wanted to live in those cities. As terrible as those cities were, they wanted to live there. You have to not. You have to get out of the cities because that's where all the evil is. That's where all these terrible things are happening, and you wonder why you wonder why cops are like that in those cities because those cities are terrible. They're absolutely terrible. It's just decadence in any big city, even Indianapolis, even here in Indiana. You go into that city and you feel it as soon as you get inside the loop. It's just like, ugh, it's like a stain. And people think different. And you have to get out of that. And it's possible to get out of that. It's possible to get out of that. And if the children were taught differently, if the adults were taught to have better morals and better standards, I think it could change. I really do. Have better standards for yourself. I could be talking out of my ass. I could have lost everybody whenever, I was saying that people can live wherever they want, and if somebody comes in and they don't like them, we should be able to tell them to leave. Maybe I lost you there. I don't know. If you're not going to uphold the morals and the standards of the society, then you need to stop. But we need to teach those standards again. There was a time where we taught those standards. Didn't matter what color skin you had, didn't matter where you came from. We taught you to have better standards. And if you didn't uphold those better standards, we told you to leave. Because it is what it is. It's not a perfect system. I've already said that. I understand that completely. Because as soon as you start saying that, it's like, well, maybe you ought to leave, white man, because you weren't here to begin. I can't help what happened, you know, 500, 600 years ago, if that's even real. I don't even know. Right now, we're focusing on what happened here. Okay, if we teach everybody how to have better morals and standards, we can start healing from what happened back then. We can start, maybe opening up the process of being able to say, look, we're sorry, this is the way it was. But no, the people don't want to do that. People want to have they want to have their victimhood. They want to have their standards of victimhood. And I don't want to be one of those guys that say, just because you had all these problems, what about me? What about my problems? I've had my problems too. I don't want to say that. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be, look, let's all come together in a moral standard where we say we're going to take care of each other and we're going to get through this and we're going to teach the kids better moral standards than this. We cannot teach them to do whatever the hell they want to do. We cannot teach them that we cannot teach them to go against what we know isn't real. We can't teach them to we definitely shouldn't be teaching them how to have sex whenever they're 5 years old. We shouldn't be teaching them that stuff. That stuff gets into a nightmare scenario on its own. But that's what's happening. What's happening is that there are no more moral standards, that people don't want to listen because their voices, the minority voices of the world, have been pushed forward over the majority voices of the world, the majority moral standard voices of the world. They've been pushed over top of that so that all you hear is the lowest of the low. You hear the decadence, you hear the evil. And it doesn't have to be that way, because that's all that's done is taken us down further into the pit. And I dare you to prove me wrong on that. We have not improved. We have gotten worse. We are not better than we were 40 years ago. We're not. We are getting far worse than we were 40 years ago. I have lived too long in this world to think that all of this doing what you want and teaching people things that go against the nature of the world. I'm not even just talking about just, what God wants us to do now. I'm just talking about, things that have been set in place for thousands of years of humankind, that we are going against that. You're going against nature itself whenever you want to talk about that kind of stuff. So, but then, I mean, what do you expect? You get, when you're told that you're a nothing person spinning on a speck of dust in the middle of nowhere, where everything is empty and hollow and there's nothing to live for other than, your fake money and all this stuff. I've said this before. When you teach somebody that, what do they got to live for? They have no moral standing. They have no moral values. And they just do whatever they want. And that's how the world falls apart. That's exactly how the world falls apart. Um, I could get deeper into that, but you know how it is. You start saying too much, and YouTube's just going to pull your channel. I never thought in a million years that we'd be at this point. People are more than ready to take away everything somebody has just because they don't want to follow the herd. It's just unbelievable. Is that a contradiction? Is that a contradiction on my part where I say if somebody moves into a neighborhood and we don't like it, that we can ask them to leave? Is that the same thing as, if somebody doesn't want to go get an injection that they are allowed to have all their foods and rights taken away? Is that the same thing? I'm just wondering. Sometimes I think I contradict myself. I'm just trying to check, make sure. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to take anything away from anybody. Me personally, I just want to be left alone. I just want to be able to live my life and know that, something good came out of it. Something better than all of this. And I want to be able to teach my granddaughter the correct way. I want to be able to tell her that she she needs to keep she needs to keep as high a moral standards for herself as she can, and that she needs to be better than this world, and that everything that she's going to be taught is a lie in some way, shape, or form, and that she has to find out the truth for herself. I want to be able to tell her that and teach her that. I want to be able to do that without somebody somewhere stopping me and saying that I'm hurting her because I'm not telling her what other people believe. That's insane. That's the crazy stuff, man. You know, trying to tell her the truth, and because I'm trying to tell her the truth, I'm the bad guy. So that's where we are. That's a society. That's where we are. Woe to them that call good, that substitute good for evil and evil for good. You know, that's where we are. So I'm the bad guy if I even remotely try to tell the truth. So, you know, I don't know where else to go with that. I really don't. All I can do is keep speaking the word of God. Hopefully somebody can hear it and understand it and be able to pull out of this wicked evil system into something better, that it can be changed, that we can change it, we can be something better, that people will see it, that people will at least want to try to turn back towards some kind of moral standard. It used to be a moral standard, even in the 80s. Even in the 80s, there were better moral standards. Even in the 90s, when things started turning, even in the 90s, there were better moral standards. Now it's like I said, it's just whatever. It's just too much. All right. I am going to get off of here so I can start logging into work. Thank you guys for listening. You understand it whenever the Father tells us to pray every day, unceasingly, pray constantly. Because these times where we have to have these kinds of talks, where we have to have the talks, where, I'm sitting here talking about the moral standards and degradation of the world, where we're at this point. These are the times when we have to take a stand and be better. We have to pray more than anything. We have to pray and keep praying. Just hope that we don't get swallowed up by all this. Yeah, I don't have anything else, guys. I love y'all. God bless everyone. Take care of yourselves. Teach your children better. Teach your children better. Teach your grandchildren better. Teach your neighbor's children better. I think the first thing we need to do is just stop lying to them. Just start telling the truth. Just start talking to them. Don't be afraid to talk to the kids. Kids understand a lot more than you think. And to be able to just tell them, tell them the truth. Tell them that there's people out there in this world that are more than willing to lie to you to get their way, and that they have to be ready for it. I don't like telling kids that, but I think we have to tell them that. I think we have to tell them the truth. They have to just be prepared. Just they don't have to be distrusting of everybody. They just have to watch themselves. Be prepared. I think we can do that. I think we should do that. So, all right. I shall talk to you guys later. Until then, see you.